Hey, did you know that you could be of service to others while being on a federal disaster response team? What I'm talking about is the National Disaster Medical System, which is part of the Department of Health and Human Services. This is based in the United States, of course, so you would be a federal intermittent employee. Some states also have state response teams, but I'm going to focus my conversation today on the National Disaster Medical System. I also want to say my name is Heather Shannon. I run the Adventurous.com, and my mission is to bring awareness about mental health issues for first responders and healthcare providers, and also inspire folks curious about healthcare and within healthcare to expand into adventurous jobs. Also of importance, the views and ideas expressed in this video are mine alone, and I do not represent the government in this information. All this information can be found on by searching for the National Disaster Medical System. All those disclaimers aside, let me give you a little overview of NDMS. There are thousands of U.S. citizens all across the country that are a part of the National Disaster Medical System on call every month to be able to serve in the event of a big national disaster like a hurricane or flood or public health emergency like when the COVID happened. There are several specialty teams within NDMS, one being trauma critical care team, another being a mortuary services team, another being veterinary services team. There's a logistics team and an incident management team. And then the rest of the people are all on DMATs, stands for Disaster Medical Assistance Teams. The DMAT teams are all over the country, spread out, locally led by team commanders and a setup of a hierarchy. And they're comprised by a great deal of medical providers with specialties such as physicians, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, paramedic, nurses, a few EMTs, respiratory therapists, social workers, pharmacists, and I don't know if we still have lab technicians or not. They used to be on the team. But in addition to that, if you're not medical at all, you can still join and be a part of this team and deploy if you have other skills such as logistics coordination, incident management, communications, security, or administrative officers that handle all of the, paperwork stuff that we have to deal with, among other. So what happens is each team will be on call maybe 3 or 4 months out of the year. And then if a disaster strikes and the President of the United States declares an emergency, then these teams will rapidly mobilize and deploy to the regions affected. I personally have been deployed to floods in Louisiana, hurricanes affecting Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and Puerto Rico, as well as for when we were trying to contain the COVID virus from getting into the country, January, February, March of 2020. I've also deployed for vaccination campaigns or other public health programs. I would say with little exception that the deployments that I have gone on and the missions that I have had within NDMS are some of the most career satisfying missions I've ever had. Of particular note was when hurricanes Harvey, Maria, and Irma all came in succession and affected Puerto Rico. I was there within a week to deploy and provide emergency care, setting up a field hospital in an affected ER that hadn't had power for those 7 to 10 days. We were able to take over care for that ER and allow those folks to go home and manage their home, have a break, let the generators get some servicing, and let the hospital repair, windows, power infrastructure, deal with mitigating mold and all that stuff. Deploying is often really long, hard work. If you're a medical person, you'll often spend the first day or two of a deployment working with your logistics crew to get all of your tentage and field hospital supplies and equipment set up. So you obviously have to be in pretty good physical condition, as well as competent in your job and able to improvise a lot with the chaos that can happen after a disaster. Anyway, feel free to DM me if you have some specific questions, or leave a comment, follow and like my page for more. And if you're interested in this, definitely check out usajobs.gov. Enter in, NDMS into the search bar. There often aren't postings. Usually it's only a couple times a year that you'll see some postings. And don't fret, the process is not very fast. Just stick with it.